Some guy is here. Michael Carrell is back with us, the host of Comicast with Jong Lee. Michael Carrell was not with us last week for reasons, good ones. Michael, tell the people where you were.
Well, real quick, James Franklin sucks. Yeah,
That's right.
That's right.
Get him.
That's a consensus.
James Franklin was like, oh, maybe this segment I won't get slandered.
No,
Wrong.
he's going to get slandered. I was at, last Friday, I was at Comicpalooza, the, I guess, big convention that happens at George R. Brown around this time every year. I was there, walking around doing stuff. I was there pretty much the entire weekend I did two podcast panels specifically. One for Comicast, of course, and then one with Brad Gilmore, who is the co-host of the Hall of Fame with Booker T, which you can hear right here on ESPN 97.5. I did a Back to the Future podcast with him and a few other people, and then I just walked around and shopped and checked out different podcast panels and things like that. It was fun, man.
What was your favorite part?
Obviously the Comicast podcast panel is always fun. I always enjoy doing that. Just walking around and checking out different panels and podcasts are probably my favorite part, especially Comicpalooza does a great job in terms of highlighting local podcasts and podcasters. I met so many different people that have been part of the program. And I found some more different ones that I didn't know about previously. And everyone was really, really cool, really nice to talk to. And just, I think the camaraderie there and just learning about different podcasters and learning the coverage and everything is one of the strongest things that they do, because they always provide a platform for podcasters, as well as just for folks that are wanting to get into it. They have a lot of panels that will help people get into it. So it's really cool for that.
You heard Michael say he did a live Comicast from Comicpalooza.
Mm-hmm.
You can hear that show tonight on ESPN 97.5. You can hear right now, obviously, if you go to Spotify, Apple, all the places you find your podcast. But if you're driving around tonight from 9 to 10, or you're just at home, you want to stream Comicast, the live show from Comicpalooza airs tonight, 9 p.m. here on ESPN 97.5. They talk about X-Men and Fantastic Four and other things.
And I should add that Jong, because he got married 6 years ago,
celebrating the anniversary.
Celebrating his anniversary with
love of his
life,
mother of his child.
He missed the podcast. God, excuses.
The lack of dedication to the craft.
That's what I
imagine
detected.
explaining that to your significant other. I got a comic thing to do. Sorry.
Yeah, I don't understand why Teresa didn't understand. I don't know.
Is there any chance you think Jong even contemplated trying to say, you know what, I got this thing?
I would say 0%.
Yeah.
0%
He
chance.
knows.
He knows.
He knows better.
Yeah.
So if you don't have an anniversary getting in your way of doing what you want to do regarding comic books or just pop culture, Michael's always here to provide things for us to watch or maybe even to read if it's a comic book. Michael, whether it be going to the movies or staying at home, what's on the list of things to watch this weekend?
It's kind of a quiet weekend, honestly. I was looking through the theater this weekend. There's only 2 wide releases, one of which is Summer Camp, which is a movie.
I don't even know what that is.
I didn't even know about it till I looked it up, and it's with Kathy Bates, Diane Keaton, and Alfred Woodard.
Yeah, Alfred Woodard. That sounds like not something that generally fits what we do here.
No, so there's that. That's the wide release. Haiku, The Dumpster Battle is the other wide release, which is the anime. Don't really know too much about that, so I can't really speak on it.
Gotcha.
Low-key, the pick for theaters, outside of if you didn't watch Furiosa last weekend, go watch Furiosa this weekend. There is a horror movie that's coming out. It's kind of a slasher movie called In a Violent Nature.
And we had a call about that earlier this week. It's from the viewpoint of the killer.
Yes. And it's, from what I've seen from different critics that I follow that are friends of mine, they've enjoyed it. I think it was right before I hopped on, it was at 84 or 89% on Rotten Tomatoes. It's getting solid reviews. Now, I will say it's kind of mixed because audience reviews are a little bit lower for it.
They are, yes.
A lot lower for it. So I don't know. It's kind of a check it out if you want to, but it does change up the formula for a horror movie in an interesting way that I think people might like.
Were you here? Did you bring up Abigail on the show?
Yes.
Did you Have we talked about it since?
No, I don't think so.
Did you get to watch
I
it?
haven't watched it yet.
Okay,
though.
I did. Sean and I, because this show always is very complimentary of everything, decided that, particularly, at least I did.
I've wanted to see
Sean
it,
didn't watch it. I did that. Using, giving away the bit, the spin, the kind of the plot twist in the trailer felt very silly because all the movie, well, there's some stuff about psychological trauma for the young vampire, but that's the point. It's a little girl who's supposed to be just a little girl who happens to be about a ballerina, and then in the trailer just gives away the plot. And now it's fine. There's some comedy involved. It's not, and you mentioned you don't like pure horror.
Yeah, not a huge fan.
One of the reasons you were thinking about watching is because there's a comedic element to it, and that's fine. Dan Stevens, who a lot of people might know from Downton Abbey, he's in it among others, and Melissa Barrera, is her name, who got, for whatever reason, because of I guess her political stances, was fired off the Scream, and now that series is pretty much done. Although Nev Campbell looks like she's going to help revive it.
Yeah, I think so.
But yeah, so there's some people you're going to recognize, at least by face, if not by name. So I enjoyed it for what it was. I just think if you're trying to sell that movie, maybe not give away the biggest detail of the movie.
Well, I mean, that could be a whole thing about just marketing in general with the way it goes in terms of movie trailers nowadays, and giving up a lot of the plot points to kind of sell the movie.
It's a little weird because I think it would have been fun as they're all trying to figure out what's going on here. Everyone's dancing around the eventual reveal, but we already know what the reveal is.
Yeah, so that's tough.
It did okay.
It did
box
okay.
Office wise, right?
It did okay in the box office. I think, like, for the most part, I know people are talking about, oh no, movies are dead because Furiosa didn't do like super well last weekend.
Yeah.
But like a couple of weeks ago, we were just talking about how well Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes did and how well some of the other April movies did. So, like, I mean, calm down.
Yeah, I think it's because of what the movie was. Like, The Fall Guy, it's had sort of an IP, but it wasn't. But it's
not like a well-known IP.
Yeah, so that didn't do well, and you had big stars in it. And then with Furiosa, the last one, Max Fury Road, did great, particularly after the box office. A lot of people latched onto it, so they're expecting big things with Chris Hemsworth, and you have Anya Taylor-Joy. So a couple big names you think would draw people out. But hey, it is what it is, and I'm watching it this weekend. I'll go see it in the theaters. I was interested to see it. I just didn't see it last weekend.
Yeah, I obviously was busy with Comicpalooza, so I didn't have a chance to go. So I definitely want to go try and check it out this weekend.
Your fault.
Yeah,
Your
it is
fault.
my
The
fault.
box, YouTube, right there.
Yeah.
Again, that's like $30 that they could have had.
Did you offer up your $13 to $15?
I did.
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
Oh, so maybe next week
we'll
actually talk about the movie because Sean actually went to go see it.
Supported filmmakers.
Look at you.
Good job out of you.
Supporter of the arts.
Finally, Chris Hemsworth catches a break.
Actually, no, not enough because you weren't enough.
I didn't buy 25 tickets.
Yeah. You don't support the arts.
The only other movie that's coming out to note is Young Woman and the Sea, which is starring Daisy Ridley as Trudy Ederle, who was the first woman to swim across the English Channel back in 1926. So it's very much a sports cliche type movie, but it's getting pretty solid reviews so far.
Daisy Ridley, Rey from Star Wars, and I guess that movie is in pre-production. She's going to lead another Star Wars movie, despite some of the conversations about the end of Star Wars, at least the end of the sequel series,
sequel trilogy.
She will be back as let's keep the Skywalkers alive. For whatever reason. By the time we come back next week, there will be The Acolyte.
Yes.
In fact, there was an email throughout the office about a potential screening but it's in my neck of the woods. I don't know how many people want to drive down to that part of the world.
Yeah. Are you going to that?
Nah, I just bought a nice TV. I'll just watch the show the next day.
Are you staying up till 2 a.m. or whatever?
What is that? Is June 4th a Saturday?
No, it's a Tuesday.
Yeah. What am I thinking? I'm trying to. June 4th is the premiere. No, I'll just wait till I get home.
Yeah,
it's part of the deal of getting off from work at 12:30. You can just wait on things.
Yeah, that's true. That makes sense.
You can watch it at home.
That's true.
I'm going to stay up to watch The Acolyte. I'll watch it in 12 hours.
I would say the next couple of weeks in streaming terms is going to be pretty busy. Obviously, you mentioned The Acolyte. We have The Boys coming out. We have House of the Dragon coming out. So it's going to get busier.
Do you know what that means, Michael? You're going to need your what to watch top 5, 10, whatever you want to make it.
I'm gonna have to have a list
Next Friday. We're gonna need it.
Okay, I will provide it.
Your watch list for the summer. We'll call it.
This weekend it's like in streaming. There's really not that much. Mayor of Kingstown
It's back.
It's back for season 3. If folks want to watch that, it's on Paramount Plus, of course. That's Jeremy Renner. The movie, I don't really know too much about this movie. Benedict Cumberbatch's movie Eric is out on Netflix today.
Is that a limited series or a movie?
I think it's a movie.
Okay.
I could be wrong because I just learned about it like, I don't know, however long ago. And it may be a series.
Yeah, it's a miniseries.
Yeah, it is a series because yeah.
It's about a father. It's about a child goes missing.
Yes.
And how it affects the relationship between a mother and a father, and some of the blame is potentially being placed on this dad, and how he's dealing with it. It goes public in the preview. You see like a news conference,
right?
Yeah. So,
but he is a puppeteer, and there is a whole puppet element, I think.
Okay.
To this series, I think is the spin on it.
Puppets.
Yeah, puppets. Yeah.
Raheel, I see you. Sorry, we are way late, and I don't want you to take up any of Michael's time because you take up a lot of air.
But it's Raheel.
Understood, and that's my point. But it's Raheel, and he takes up a lot of room. Hey, he has things to say. So, Raheel, we'll get to you when we come back. I want to thank Michael Carrell. You got anything else before we wrap it up?
Ren Fair, 3-part docuseries, all about the Texas Renaissance Festival on HBO this weekend.
Awesome. So, Michael Carrell providing you with things to watch.
That's all I got.
A little soft when it comes to the movies. Not his fault, obviously.
Hey, I couldn't do it.
Yeah,
I tried, but
Raheel is hung up.